Hi, welcome to Tea and Mystics. Today I'm going to be sharing just a short review of the Taschen, the Book of Symbols, while also discussing the Dictionary of Symbols that I have a previous review of on the channel. I'll link to it below, all while I am sipping on some green matcha tea that I also added a 5 powdered mushroom blend that's for your immune system and gut health. And yeah, I've been trying that out with my matcha lately because I find that the earthy flavor of the mushroom powder goes with the matcha. I picked up this copy of Taschen's Book of Symbols this past weekend, and I was really lucky because I actually found it on sale, and I was delighted to find it on sale because I have had my eye on the book for quite a while, but it has a bit of a higher price tag because it is a nice hard copy book, but at the sale price I found it quite affordable for me, and I live in Canada, so if it's a book you've been keeping your eye on, you may want to check to see if you can also find it on sale. Now, the Book of Symbols, it's quite big and it's beautiful, and what the book is trying to do is be a collection of the archetypal visual representation and explanation of symbols. And the book itself is broken into different parts, and we have here in the table of contents, we look at creation and the cosmos, plant world, animal world, human world, and spirit world. And I really like the way it sort of broke into those chapters, and then within each chapter it goes into different symbols. So for instance, here is a write-up and the visual representations for the oak tree, for instance. And you can go through the book and sort of look up different words and then have a nice little explanation as into the symbolic importance of the word. And then they chose visual representations to help people to really understand the symbolic meaning of the words. Now, when you look at the foreword, itself mentions that there were some heated discussions about what images to include with what words. When I read that, I interpret it as understanding that the image that they settle on, the images that they settle on, a lot of times were probably by consensus. And when you think of things going by consensus, you have to remember that it's the one that everyone thought was good. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone thought it was their number one choice, the number one best, although I'm sure there's times that that is what happened. But this is the sort of consensus collection of visual representations of different symbols. I just like to keep that in mind because you never want to approach works like this and think like, oh, these are the pictures that really represent how this word is represented symbolically. The book itself also is really good at looking at a wide range of time periods and types of images and images produced around the world, and discussing how these symbols function differently in different traditions and customs. So it really is a really wonderful book to have if you're interested in symbolism, archetypes, and also could be really good if you just like looking it up for deciphering dreams. I also have, and I have a review of this book, I'll share it down below, of Penguin's Dictionary of Symbols. I really enjoy having this as a reference book. This definitely functions as a dictionary, so things are in alphabetical order, really easy to find when you're looking up, and they offer some really great brief descriptions and understandings of different symbols. So I just wanted to say I enjoy having both of these books, and they are very complementary to one another, so you can always start with looking at this book, looking things up, and then if you want a bit more of a write-up and further understanding, you can look at this, and then from there you also have that visual representation. Now, the Dictionary of Symbols does include more words because it's more brief in its description and isn't trying to find that perfect visual representation of it. For this book, they mention in the foreword that if they couldn't find the visual representation they really felt captured that archetype understanding of the symbol, but then they just didn't include it because this book is really focused in on presenting you with those visual representations. So just give you like a bit more of a look inside to give you a little bit of an idea of how the book is laid out and how beautiful it is. Again, every symbol has a multitude of images with it, and it's definitely a wonderful addition to my library. Now, this may sound a little nitpicky, but I'm curious if other people, when you buy these like really nice edition of books, I like the thought that's put into the whole experience of the book. So not just the words, not just the beautiful images, but also just the quality of the binding and the cover and the pages. And I don't know if this was on sale because maybe it's a different edition, but I found the paper not the most pleasing paper to touch. And I know that might sound sort of picky to some people, but I really enjoy when these sort of books have a lovely, soft sort of feeling to the pages, but that's just me being nitpicky and wanted to share in case other people have a similar thing where, I don't know, you just really appreciate nice paper to the touch of your hand because it adds to that tactile experience of the book. Still, wonderful book. I'm really happy and grateful that I found it on sale. So if you've been looking, you may want to check around your area to see if it's on sale as well. Today I am sipping on some green matcha tea with a mushroom powder compound added in it for immunity and gut health. I really enjoy green matcha tea. This is matcha that is from Citizen Tea, and it's very nice. And I find that with the mushroom powder, which I can't remember all, I know it has like a mix of 5. It has lion's mane, turkey tail, chaga. I can't remember all of them, but it's basically to support immunity in general. And I've been trying it out to see, and I did read an article recently that I believe it was lion's mane is also good for memory. So I'll see if I have better brain power as I drink this. It's in no way an endorsement of it because I'm just trying it out, but I find that the earthy flavor of the mushroom powder does go with the matcha very well. So it's sort of a nice mix, and I've been trying it out in the morning. Thanks so much for spending time with Tea and Mystics. Cheers!